Welcome back. Steve, Sparky, Fifer, Charlie using other side of the glass. And you know what happened? I'm going to tell you right now what happened. Sometimes you just got to admit when you make a mistake, because I clearly just made a mistake. Now, we're going to fix it, obviously, because I have to, because by law, I have to fire something here at the top of the hour. But what happened was, Tommy Wirtz is in here. And we were all having a big conversation, and I was not paying attention because I was more wrapped up in the conversation with Tommy and Charlie than I wasn't actually paying attention to my own radio show with Charlie on the other side of the glass. We're going to take calls here on the Brewers. So I want to hear from you. Brewers lose 10-3 at American Family Field. Are you worried? Concerned by any of this? Are you feeling really, really good at this point right now by how this whole thing is working with the Milwaukee Brewers? I'm not concerned at all. Not concerned at all. You Brewers fans have convinced me that we have the perfect baseball team, that nothing needs to be done at the deadline. We're the best record in baseball. We're going to win the World Series. Don't mess with this roster. Don't add anybody. We're golden. You all really have convinced me of the way of the world, of that really is what I should be thinking with this baseball team right now. That all of this talk of me wanting to improve the baseball team, of me wanting to go out there and try and make this team better, is all just a waste of my breath. Because I clearly am like the only one that thinks this team needs to be better than they are right now in order to win a World Series. I'm the only one, apparently, that thinks that they're not going to be good enough to finish this thing with what they have currently. With that being said, I need to fix something.
WSSP Milwaukee, W289CB Milwaukee. The Pack-A-Day Radio Show featuring Andy Herman. Weekday mornings starting at 8 on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan, an Odyssey sports station.
Now, you tell me exactly whether or not you're with me or against me. Because I feel like this is what y'all want me to do. Y'all want me to come on the air, tell you life is great, world's great, Brewers are going to win a World Series, they don't need to make any moves, quit overreacting, quit yelling and screaming about they need to do things. Caleb Durbin is amazing. Joey Ortiz is a wizard at shortstop. They don't need to add squat. We're good. Andrew Vaughn is Babe Ruth. We're good. Everything is fine. That's what y'all want, right? I mean, we want to play that game, we'll play that game. But I promise you, if this team goes down in the playoffs and they lose 3-2, 2-1, 4-2, and they average like 2 runs a game in the playoffs, I am going to be telling I told you so every day for the rest of the offseason to the start of the next season. Every day. We'll be in Packers coverage, and I'm going to stop and be like, I told you so, Brewers fans. And then I'll go right back into talking about the Packers. It's going to be every single flipping day, all offseason, if this offense can't score runs in the playoffs. When you all don't want to make any trades. You all don't want to give up any prospects. And it's not even just Brewers fans. It's the Brewers front office that are scared that they may trade a prospect that might actually work out and be something somewhere else, and then there may be egg on their face. But they know that the owner will never touch anybody as long as they continue to make the playoffs, and he gets his playoff share of the money. That's what he's about, right? A fun-loving summer of entertainment. That's what it's all about with the Brewers. Not about winning World Series rings. Not even about going to the damn World Series. Be happy. Happy, happy. Joy, joy. Woohoo! Best record in the regular season. Do you know what that gets you? Nothing! It gets you nothing! Earlier on today, it's having a bad morning. Buddy of mine called. I went off on him, hung up on him, texted him a couple hours later, and apologized because I felt bad. Because he's one of those happy, happy, joy, joy people. It's the world's fine. It's great. You're overreacting. It'll be fine. And I told him pretty much what I just said to you. This team is very good. No, check that. This team is very, very good is what this Brewers team is right now. Are they perfect? No. Is any team in Major League Baseball, as we sit today, perfect? No. But seemingly, if you read all this stuff online, we're the only team that's sitting near the top that says, we're good, not interested, we're good, we're going to roll with what we have. Dodgers are looking, Yankees are looking, all the top teams are looking, not the Brewers. No, got to have something fall in our lap. I need to take a breath before I have a heart attack here and fall over and keel over, and then Tommy's got to finish doing the show and everything else going forward. This is the thing. Earlier today, Jeff Passan of ESPN and who was the other one? I don't know. The insiders over there at ESPN put together this piece on the front page of ESPN about what they're hearing, the latest intel. You know, they've been doing it every day for last week. And they're talking about the contenders, right? The top guys, what they're all going to do. The line from Jeff Passan of ESPN is this. I took it, put it in quotes, and put it on Twitter. Quote, the Brewers won't do much unless value falls into their laps, end quote, Jeff Passan. Right? That's what it was. Let's go over some of the replies. Paul says, I agree that they will look for value. Every successful business should. That being said, the way he phrases it in this fairly condescending way is offensive to me. They are a great organization and should be recognized as such by these so-called experts. Go Brewers. My reply to you is this. What makes a great organization? Is a great organization one in which they continuously go to the postseason and have little to no success in the postseason? Is that a great organization? Or is a great organization one that wins a championship every so many years? Is that a great organization? See, the St. Louis Cardinals, as much as I hate that organization, with Tony La Russa and Matheny, they were winning divisions or going to the playoffs and collecting rings. That was a great organization. The Cubs blew, let me repeat this again. Y'all blew a golden opportunity to have a possible dynasty that you should have had when you had Rizzo and everybody else, and you ended up with one damn appearance. That's not a good organization. They screwed that whole thing up. So that's not a good organization in my mind. They've got a ring. Brewers don't. So they can call up right now and be like, Sparky, you're an idiot. I'm going to turn on the score. Okay, go ahead. But that's not a good organization. They haven't been a good organization. The Milwaukee Bucks go to the playoffs every year. They get bounced in the first round pretty much every year outside of when they went to the championship with Giannis, right? Since then, every year we get bounced first round. Every year. Top 3 player in the NBA, can't stay healthy, but top 3 player in the NBA on your team, and you can't figure out how to finish. Great organization. John Horst is doing everything in his power to put the best people he can around that team left and right. Got 1 ring. Is that great? I don't know. That's up to you to decide. To me, it's a very well-run organization that does a lot with a little. They figure out how to win and be competitive and be in the postseason better than any other small market team in baseball, which means they are very, very well-run. You and I, if you're old enough, went through 26 years of horrible baseball. You and I went through 11 years of not even getting to 500 baseball. We watched them be horrible. And now they're really good, and nobody wants to go back that way. So we cheer and we clap and we go, oh, it'll be fine. We're just happy being good again because we watched them be bad for so long in our lives. I get it. I understand. But as I said yesterday, and I will say right now, dude, I'm on the other side of the hill right now, folks. I'm not climbing the hill anymore. Charlie's climbing the hill. He's 20-something. He barely started getting up on that hill. Tommy's a little bit farther up on that hill. I've already reached the top. I'm coming down the other side. Time's running out. I want to see my damn favorite team win a World Series. And going about how they're going about their business and how they go about their business every single year at this point, outside of Melvin at the deadline going and getting Sabathia, outside of that one time, which Andrew Wagner pointed out was they were desperate to break the streak, so they didn't care. They were going to push all in to break the 26-year streak. That desperate nature, gone. Yet, Peralta's on the last year of his deal. Brandon Woodruff has an option, a mutual option, where he can be gone at $20 million. The Brewers may not want to pay him $20 million, so he's probably gone, right? And then you're going to have a bunch of young guys in this rotation next year. All very good young guys, we think, right? But not set up at the front end with Mizorowski, Woodruff, and Peralta next year. Next year, your front three are what? Mizorowski, maybe Gasser. He looked good last night in his rehab on coming off of Tommy John. Logan Henderson, Chad Patrick, and Priester. That's your five, more than likely. And then Ashby and Hall probably still are in the pen or whatever happens. But that front three isn't going to be what you have right now. This is your opportunity to push and go. And instead, we're good, we're fine, don't worry about us, it'll be okay. Better not lose. You better not freaking lose. If you lose 10-3 every game, I'm not going to complain, because then your pitching lets you down, and who saw that coming? Nobody. Because we all think these front three guys are awesome. But if Peralta melts down in the playoffs like he did today, I'm not going to be mad at them for not making a move for a bat, because one bat would not have fixed 10-3, clearly. But if you lose games 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, then, yes, then I'm going to be mad. Who is this?
This is Truth from Germantown.
Do you know Truth?
I do not know Truth.
You're sure?
I think.
Because if I hear the voice that I think I'm going to hear, I'm going to yell at you next. Truth in Germantown, you're next here on the Nick Laylaw Fan Talking Text Line. What's up, Truth?
What's going on, Sparky?
You're
This
lucky,
ain't the
Charlie.
same truth. I don't know what other
No,
I was going to say, he just
I
wants to
thought
yell at me.
somebody was trying to change a name and get on the air and come at me.
No, he just
but
wants to yell.
thankfully, no, good. What's
I
what's
did
up?
call to come at you, though.
Good, that's all right. Go ahead.
Because you act like if we make a move, we guarantee the World Series. You said yourself all the top teams are making moves besides the Brewers.
That's right.
Only one of those teams could win the championship. Everybody's not going to win the championship.
But they're
If we get to the
trying.
National League, if we get to the National League Championship Series, I'm satisfied with that. Why do we have to win the ring?
What do you mean? Don't you want to win? Did you play team sports?
Yes,
Didn't you
I
want to
wanna
win
win
the
the
whole
ring.
thing?
Yes, I want to win the whole thing now. But making a move doesn't guarantee we're going to win the whole thing.
No, but the
You might
truth.
make it to the National League Championship.
But don't
and then you're not going to have egg on your face because we got out of the first round?
Truth. It's about trying. They're not trying. They're sitting here saying we're good enough. There is no perfect baseball team. To simply not try and say backup catcher was the only hole on this team, we don't need to do anything else. I mean, you don't agree with that, right? I mean, you don't think this is a perfect team, do you?
No team's perfect.
Right.
But one of them's going to get a ring.
Right, but these other teams are going to try to add and make it better.
Or they might make their team worse by adding.
Maybe. Could happen. You're right. That's a possibility. It might backfire, and that player may show up and go cold, or if it's a pitcher, may get blown up in the playoffs. They could have egg on their face. So you're happy. You're okay if they do nothing and say, well, might have had the same thing happen if we added a player.
I'm okay with making a move or not.
Well, I'm not okay with not making a move. I'm not on the fence. I want them to make a move. I'm not going to be happy if they don't. You're trusting the organization that they know what's best then.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
All right. Truth, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. That's fine. You can trust them. But I'm just reminding you, they haven't been out of the first round since 2018. That was the last time they were out of the first round. Been 7 years. It's just like some of you Packer fans that want LaFleur and Gutekunst gone because they haven't won a Super Bowl in over a decade. They want them gone. They go to the playoffs every year. They win divisions, right? And Packer fans want those guys gone. Ed Policy won't even extend those guys. He's making them play out this year before they go in the last year of his contract, trying to prove a point. So you Packer fans that want those guys gone, why is there a double standard for this team? Those of you that want John Horst gone, why is there a double standard for this team? That's all I'm trying to figure out. John Horst doesn't sit on his hands and not do anything. John Horst is always trying to add and make that team better. Always. And you all still get mad at the man. And again, I'm going to push in a little bit farther on this. I'm not going to be mad at Matt Arnold. I'm mad at the owner of this baseball team. Because the owner of this baseball team at any point could say, I don't give a damn what you have to give up. Go get player X. I want to win a damn World Series. I've had enough. He can do that at any point. Does he? No. Will he? No. People were mad at Herb Cole back in the day for wanting playoff money and only being the 8th seed, and he was good. Herb Cole said to me straight up, we're not winning a championship in this environment. It's never going to happen. We can't afford to sign anybody as a free agent, so it's just not going to happen. Like, people just got to realize going to the playoffs is kind of what this is all about for us as an organization right now. That's where his mindset was. These new owners came in and said, we're going to win a championship. They wanted championships. Plural was what they said at the opening press conference. It's a mindset. It's a all in no matter what. We're going to figure out a way to get this done. The owner of this Brewers team does not appear to have that mindset. Clearly, by the quotes earlier this year, he does not have that mindset. And now he's going to give it to his kids. Wonderful. Maybe they'll have the mindset. Maybe his kids will take over, and they'll have that mindset of, Dad couldn't get it done, but we're going to get it done. We're going to figure out a way to win a World Series. I hope so. Because right now, that mindset does not appear to be it. Right now, that mindset is, be great in the regular season, and if we get beat in the postseason, that's fine, but we'll still have a great farm system, and we'll be back at it again next year, and maybe one year we'll get lucky, and other teams will get hurt in the playoffs, and we'll be able to get through. Aren't you glad we're talking about the Brewers?
You were so happy last week, Sparky, all week. You were the happiest
It's because
guy I
the
ever
deadline is tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and the reality has set in on me that they are going to sit here and watch.
So you're in agreement.
Danny Jansen does not fix a damn thing.
You're in agreement with Q. Always. He's over in the YouTube comments over here saying, this game is irrelevant. Team is stuck in the mud due to its owner come October. I'd rather have no team than have a team committed to mediocrity.
No.
I've had my fill of this passion and entertainment.
No, I don't want the team to move. Nothing like that. I simply want the team to win a World Series before I'm dead. That's all I'm asking for, right? Charlie got to see the Cubs win a World Series before he's dead. A lot of Cub fans never got to see that happen. Lived their whole life, died, never saw their team go and win a World
Super Bowl
Series.
is more important.
Well, whatever.
I may not see that in my lifetime.
But I'm just saying, I mean, from a Wisconsin sports fan standpoint, we've seen the Packers win multiple Super Bowls. We've seen the Bucks win a championship. Again, nobody would have bet 10 years ago that the Bucks would have won a championship before the Brewers. Nobody would have taken that bet. Nobody. In 2018, nobody would have taken the Bucks to win a championship before the Brewers. Everybody would have said, oh, no, the Brewers are definitely going to do it. There's no way the Bucks do it in the NBA. They figured it out. And here we sit. Again, happy. I love beating the Cubs. I love it so much. Love beating the Cardinals. Love beating the Dodgers, with all the money and all that stuff. I just wish that the front office and the owner of this team loved this team as much as some of their fans did or do. That's all. Just wishing that they loved them as much. Because I don't. You can't convince me. You can't convince me that the main goal here is to win a World Series in this organization, or that it ever has been, outside of the 1 year when they went for it with Sabathia, and that was simply to make the playoffs. That wasn't even about a World Series at that point. All right, take a quick timeout. Come back on the other side. We're going to switch gears before I have an absolute freaking meltdown. Tommy's over here laughing at me.
When is he not?
Yeah. I'm so frustrated with Brewers fans. I'm so frustrated with the front office, the ownership. I'm frustrated across the board. Right? I'm not good. I'll be fine. Once this deadline passes, I'll go back to being like you, happy-go-lucky, go Brewers go, and all that other stuff. And I've been yelling and screaming during the Brewers games and all of that. And this trade deadline sitting on your hands, I am just beside myself of the not caring about anything at this point. And just, we're fine. Time for your fan weather forecast. 64 degrees and rain. Have to have that umbrella in hand. Rain is supposed to be done by around 7 o'clock tonight with a low of 62. Your fan weather forecast brought to you by Utke Heating and Cooling.
Fly ball to left. Doesn't have enough. It is up and gone. We're tied. 7th home run of the year for William Contreras. His first since the 14th of June against the Cardinals.
Think about that for a second. William Contreras hasn't hit a home run since right around the time my kids got out of school, and they just got their summer school shopping supply list last week. That was the last time. June 14th. They got out of school like what, June 9th, something like that? I mean, you got to be kidding me. When you start talking about this offense, here's another one. Let's talk about something else with the Brewers. Here's another one that I love. The Brewers already have their trade deadline acquisitions. They got Andrew Vaughn, and they got Priester, which wasn't anywhere near the deadline. They got Priester, they got Vaughn. They already did their trades.
Brandon Woodruff
They're
came
good.
back.
That's another one. Yeah.
Trade deadline
Who was that?
move,
Didn't
right?
Wagner try to pass that one over on me
Yeah.
as being like a trade deadline move? Yeah. Oh, Brandon Woodruff coming back. That's a trade deadline acquisition. You're adding him. Stop. No. A highlight courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. If William Contreras can get going like William Contreras was last year, that's a huge bonus pop to this offense, right? Churio, still waiting on that. Still don't know what the deal with Churio is, whether or not he's going to be out for a significant amount of time or not. But Churio's been playing well lately. If Yelich can continue to show his power, Contreras gets back on track again, with some power and some pop and get to hitting like he was last year. The Andrew Vaughn stuff, I don't know. I mean, if this is real, it appears to be real, that is a huge bonus pop too. Then you have Rhys Hoskins coming back. So once Rhys Hoskins comes back, Charlie, tell me this. What happens to Andrew Vaughn? Once Rhys Hoskins is healthy. And now, by the way, if you weren't listening yesterday to the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, I about punched my radio. I'm listening, and Tommy Wirtz goes, yeah, they're expecting a end of August rehab stint possibly for Rhys Hoskins. What happened to the middle of August? What happened? Vaughn's playing well? Take your time, Rhys. Take your time. We got time. You're old. Take your time. We'll rest your body up and we'll get you ready for September. And then, if Vaughn is still playing well, you send Yelich to left field? Is that what happens? Because you're not sitting Rhys Hoskins, are you? I mean, Hoskins and Vaughn both have to play, so one is at DH, one is at first, and then Yelich is in left.
I mean, why does Hoskins have to play?
I can't imagine.
I mean, this team's been pretty good without him.
Pat Murphy is all about the vets, dude.
I know, but
I would
also,
be so surprised if he got benched for this thing. I would be.
Vaughn's playing well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yelich, I think, has been the healthiest he's been in a really long time, staying in that DH spot. I mean, things are going good.
And playing like old Yelich to a degree.
I understand you want to get the vets in the lineup and that Rhys Hoskins can be a valuable part of this team. But he can be a valuable part of this team as a pinch hitter. Like, that's how I'm kind of feeling about this.
No, you're right.
That's where it's sitting.
But he's better defensively than Vaughn.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But also you want to keep Vaughn's bat in the lineup. Vaughn's
correct
doing what Rhys Hoskins did for a short period earlier in the season, but it kind of seems like his is more realistic to keep going at this point in their careers.
If Hoskins comes back hot and he plays well, and by some miracle of God, Andrew Vaughn continues this, right? That means that's DH and that's first base. That also means then that Yelich is in left field. That means Churio is probably in right field, more than likely. Or Churio's in center and Frelick's in right. Or Churio's in right and Perkins is in center. Isaac Collins isn't playing in this scenario. That's how that looks. And then imagine if they added Suarez to play third base and put his home run power in that lineup with Vaughn, with Hoskins, with Contreras, with Yelich, with Churio. All of a sudden, you go from being one of the worst power hitting teams in baseball to now all of a sudden looking at that lineup going, holy crap, like 2 through 7 can all beat you on one pitch over the fence. It dramatically changes what this lineup looks like. Having said that, it would also make you dramatically slower as well, and it would change the identity of the team as far as how much you run. And that's the other thing that they've got to kind of weigh here as far as, are they okay going that way, Charlie?
I don't know if you can really afford at this point in the season to change that much about your lineup. I think adding a player like Suarez is nice and will help your lineup. But if you're also changing what's happening in left field, if you're also changing what's happening at first base, this team, again, has found a rhythm now. And I think there's certain players that, yes, you can add them and I think they could be an immediate impact. But if you're doing that change, it's going to be probably a problem to change other things as well. You don't want to make more questions by getting one answer. And if you're going to go and get this answer, that has to be it. You have to be comfortable with what else you have on the field.
I think that's obviously a big part of it, too. The other day, Tommy Wirtz and I, by the way, if you want to hop aboard and talk about this Brewers team after they lose to the Cubs 10-3, we're not talking about the game. I don't really care that they lost 10-3 to the Cubs. I'm happy they won the series 2 out of 3. But they're still one game up on the Cubs in the division, which is great. They're still the best team in baseball. But we're trying to figure out exactly how you go and win a World Series, because believe it or not, that's important to me on this show. It may not be important to the rest of the fan base, but it's important to me at this point. So Tommy Wirtz and I were going back and forth about power and how big of a deal is power in a lineup and winning in the postseason, because that's been a narrative around baseball for the last several years that you have to have power, you have to have starting pitching. So give credit to Tommy Wirtz the other night. He gets to going and doing some research. Florida Marlins in 2003 hit 157 homers, right? The Brewers, now this was a few nights ago, on that time, before they hit 3 yesterday, were on pace for 152. So that'd be right in the area at that point. In 2015, the Royals won it and hit 139. The Brewers would top that. In 2014, the Giants won it and they hit 132. In 2012, the Giants hit 103 for the season. The Brewers are already at 100 or over 100 at this point. So maybe the power argument isn't as big of a deal breaker as I make it out to be.
Maybe not, but also I feel like when you look at a lot of those other teams, they were kind of historic at other facets of the game. Right now, I feel like this Brewers team isn't yet to that point. I feel like the Royals, when you talk about their defense of those World Series teams that they had, it was otherworldly. I think the contact that some of these Giants teams had, and they were some of the most clutch baseball teams you've seen in history, they had that going for them. I don't think the Brewers are there.
All right, Tommy Wirtz took the microphone. I don't know why he's still here. We don't have a doubleheader today, do we? Do you have another leadoff show after this?
No, I'm just hanging out, vibing with the boys.
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, I'm all about it. That's fine. I was just checking.
I will add this though, that no team has won the World Series since 2016 and not hit 200 homers in a year. And that team was the Chicago Cubs, who hit 199 home runs.
Say that stat again.
No team has won the World Series since 2016 to not hit 200 home runs in a season, and the Chicago Cubs hit 199 that year.
They're not hitting 100 home runs in 2.
And that Cubs team had an amazing rotation and bullpen. That helps them out a little bit there. So maybe if the Brewers could get to that point, I mean, we could
Charlie,
be looking at
what are
something.
they at right now? Like 102, 101 and home runs? Look it up. See what their team home run total is. You can add 2 for Contreras today because I'm sure it's not updated. So they're 102, 103? Are they going to hit 100 home runs in 2 months? No chance. I can't see it. If they're going to be at 100 for 4 months. They're not going to hit 100 in 2 months. I mean, even if you
104 after the 2 today.
Right, 104. And we're done because they're off tomorrow, correct? So they're off tomorrow. So 104 for 4 months. They're not getting to 200.
No, they're not.
Look, you have the team home run standings in front of you?
Or not every league. But.
Okay, so the Dodgers. Where are the Dodgers in the team home run standings right now? How many have they hit so far?
So the Dodgers have currently hit 162. The Yankees are in first place with 170.
Okay, so they're both going to get 200. Where are the Cubs?
The Cubs are in third place with 156.
Oh, no. Oh, that... I shouldn't have told him that second part, huh?
You want
I
to know
just kept
teams
it on the down low.
Around the Milwaukee Brewers?
But my question is, what happened? Like, what changed? What happened in 2016 and forward that the narrative completely changed about power and the playoffs?
Well,
what happened to baseball that completely changed?
I think when I also told you is next time you have Matt Arnold on the show, friend of your show, you got to ask him when he was building this Milwaukee Brewers team if he modeled it after those early 2010s Giants when he did that, because the Giants were 2 of those 3 teams that I mentioned to you already there, and they had maybe the most elite pitching in the game at the time when they were rocking out there with Lincecum and Bumgarner and Matt Cain. You know, they had insane arms in the starting rotation, and then at the end, you remember Brian Wilson was closing things down, the beard, right? So they knew that they had maybe the most elite pitching in the game, which I still think pitching plays a massive role in deep playoff runs too, maybe more so than power, because if they're not scoring runs, you can't win the game. But that obviously died off. They did win 3 World Series before that. I still think that the Brewers are following that model to try to win this, to make a deep playoff run. I think they're looking at the early 2010s Giants, and it's much more comparable.
It's been over 10 years since you've seen anybody do this. You yourself said they're on pace for like 155 to 160, somewhere in that area. That is way short of 200 home runs at the end of the day.
I understand. Yeah, I get it.
So again, you're trying to do something that hasn't been done in almost 10 years, and we're going to sit here at the deadline and go, that's cool. We'll break the mold. We're going to do this.
Even if they bring in a Eugenio Suarez, a Ryan O'Hearn, wherever, they're not getting to that 200 home run mark, whoever is on their team.
You're right. But at that point, then, if you add in Suarez and what he hit for the year and that type of numbers, and you add that to what they have, now you're probably at around 200 if you add in Suarez's numbers, right?
If it was to be
because it's a trade deadline acquisition.
Yeah, it'd be 36 more home runs you can add to it. So
now you're right around 200.
Now they have to hit 65 more homers. We should. What's the date today?
Because if they're on pace for like 157, 36 more, you're at 193. mean, you're not that much over pace of what you projected. You're right there.
Yeah, it's closer to the number for sure. I just think that the Brewers are, ignore the cliche if you want, like a history always repeats itself kind of thing. Maybe they're trying to find a new way to win, similar to, just looking at baseball a different way. And they're
That's
going
correct.
back to the San Francisco Giant approach of the early 2010s, which is recent enough, I guess, right? Where you can maybe base something off of it where it's successful.
Here's a side, never skip breakfast again. Wendy's breakfast biscuits are just $1. Your choice of a buttermilk biscuit with grilled sausage or bacon with egg and melty cheese, or even the honey buddy with juicy chicken and maple honey butter for just $1. You can't go wrong unless you forget to add the delicious seasoned potatoes or the warm, fluffy French toast sticks or even the ooey gooey cinnamon. Come on, start your day the right way with Buck Biscuits at Wendy's. Don't look back. Limited time only. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We never got to the Anton comments there on YouTube. We'll get to that as well. If you want to partake in this conversation about the Brewers winning a World Series, getting to a World Series, phone lines are open for you as well. Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Don't forget, if you're following us on YouTube, just search The Fan Milwaukee. Like and subscribe, please.
Imanaga's 0-1. Line to right. That's got some legs. Back Tucker's got another one. Baby Bull
says the Brewers don't hit home runs. Oh, that's such a nice, easy swing by Contreras.
Highlight courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. See Sparky Fifer with you. Charlie using over there. Tommy Wirtz in studio hanging out as well. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy's. Don't forget, Potawatomi Sportsbook, man. 6,500 square feet, 2,000 square foot center screen, over 30 sporting events at one time. It's the best place to watch any sporting event that you want to pick, whether it's baseball, racing, golf, tennis, soccer, football, basketball, hockey, whatever. Best place to do it right there. They have UFC fights on. They're going to have SummerSlam on coming up this weekend as well. Reserve your seats ahead of time. Go to Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. Potawatomi.com/sportsbook to receive your seat ahead of time. They've got booths, tabletops, single seats. Yes, there's a nominal fee, but it goes towards your food and beverage costs for that night, so you're going to be spending that money regardless. So you might as well spend that money in ahead of time to make sure you have a seat and you're not standing all night. The Potawatomi Sportsbook kitchen is amazing. You have wings, burgers, salads, wraps, all-day brunch. You've got homemade pastries and desserts, 48 beers on tap, dozen different specialty cocktails. Reserve. Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. All right. So we were talking in the last segment about the Brewers and trying to get to 200 home runs. Nobody since 2016 has won the World Series that didn't have 200 or more home runs. That was the Cubs. That was 199, right? Who was the last one before that? Before the Cubs in 2016, that was under 200. Was it right away the year prior to that, 2015?
I think whatever that list I sent you, I think it was the Royals on that list. It was either the Royals in 15 or in 14, it was the Giants, right? Those were the two that also worked out nicely there.
The Royals in 15 had
it's
130.
kind of been the trend since the Cubs. You got to hit 200 homers in a year.
And we have no idea what the hell started with all this. You had a theory, Charlie, using in the break.
I do. So if you look back at that 2015 season and the amount of walks that teams had during that year, the leader in the league was the Toronto Blue Jays with 570 walks. If you just head over to the 2016 season right away, 570 walks would put the Toronto Blue Jays at 5th in the league for walks that year. The leader that year was the Chicago Cubs with 656 from that.
Holy cow.
The Blue Jays went up to 632, and the Brewers were at 599 that season. So you were sitting at a lot of people, and the Giants had 572. You keep moving on each year, and the walks just keep going up. The next year, 570 would have put the Toronto Blue Jays at 8th or 9th in the league for walks.
So what happened is, it appears, because the walks skyrocketed from 15 to 16 and going forward, like almost doubled for the leader. When you talk about it from that perspective, then maybe that became the on-base percentage means more than average, and we're really going to start emphasizing this going forward about drawing your walks, taking pitches, and doing what else? Getting starting pitchers out of the ball game sooner to get into the bullpens. Now, all of a sudden, starting pitchers aren't going 3 times through an order anymore. Now you're going 2. And then what happens then? All of these bullpens aren't the best in the whole wide world. So now you're taking walks against the bullpen and you're starting to torch bullpens with home runs and so forth. I think that all does work hand in hand as far as what really changed, Charlie.
I think the other thing we're looking at here, too, is that you don't see this in the stats for the batters, but the pitchers are just throwing harder. We're seeing starting pitchers alone themselves starting to get into guys where you're seeing consistently at least one person per team throwing a fastball at 97 miles per hour or faster.
Brewers got like 4 or 5 guys.
Like 8 guys, it feels
guys,
like.
Yeah.
Every team has one of these players nowadays. I think even just back in 2016, it was pretty rare to see those types of players. The reason the Cubs were able to make that World Series run was because Aroldis Chapman was doing that. Nobody else in the league was doing that. That was all that was behind this. Now you're seeing a lot of people do that, and with faster velocity comes more hard hit percentage. I think if we were to look at that stat across the league, you'd see guys hitting the ball harder. The barrel percentage is probably going up. And then just the fact that you're throwing harder means the control is going down a little bit. It's easier for guys to watch pitches when it's clearly outside at 103 miles an hour, when you don't even have a chance to think about swinging. All of that comes into play here. I think just the way the pitchers are pitching is different as well. It's not just the batters. Everything's changing in the game.
Some deals going on around Major League Baseball. The Mets get in on a deal. They acquired Tyler Rogers from the Giants. I'm going to go back to Tommy Wirtz over here because he's the minor league guy. The Giants get Jose Buto, I said how you say his name, Drew Gilbert, and Blade Tidwell from the Mets in the deal for Tyler Rogers, the reliever. What type of prospects are they getting back? Because clearly they're prospects.
Can you name them one more time for me?
We got Jose Buto, Drew Gilbert, and Blade Tidwell going from the Mets to the Giants for Tyler Rogers.
Yeah, Blade Tidwell and Drew Gilbert are two top 12 prospects in the Mets system right now. Both of them, one of them pitcher, Tidwell, and Gilbert is an outfield prospect. Both of them are in AAA already, too, on top of that. I just think that's a crazy price for a reliever. If you got to give up a major league reliever and then two top 12 prospects in your system. I mean, imagine it like the Brewers. If the Brewers wanted to go out and get a reliever, for their number 10 prospect is now Luis Lara in AA for Biloxi, and their number 12 prospect is Robert Gasser.
Right.
That would be just an insane haul for a reliever to come in. You want to see the Brewers go in and make a move like they don't care? The Mets just made a move where they went in and said they don't care.
Tyler Rogers, 4-3 right now with a 1.8 ERA. He's pitched in more games than any other reliever in baseball at 53. He just gave up a couple runs against the Pirates his last time out.
That's the super sidearm, right?
On the 29th, I believe so.
Yeah, so
yes,
it's the guy who's super submarine and he throws like the rising curveball because of his arm angle.
38 strikeouts to 4 walks for Tyler Rogers. A whip, walks plus hits divided by innings pitch, of .86. I mean, he's good. I'm not saying he's not good. He's 34 years old, so it's not like he's new to the game of baseball and some young up-and-comer they're going to have team control over for like 10 years or something like that. That's not the case. And you both were in the break, were like, oh my God, that's a lot to give up for a reliever. And I told both of you, it does not matter. When you are the Mets and the Yankees and the Dodgers and these teams, they will fill holes that they may have by using money. They do not need prospects to fill holes. They will spend money. The owner of the Mets is like the richest guy in baseball. Cohen, he's going to spend money whenever David Stearns asks him to spend money. He does not care about giving up prospects to try to win a World Series with the Mets. Do you have any idea of the legendary status that David Stearns will have if that team wins the World Series with him? You have any idea?
Huge.
Huh?
Do you know that? I mean, when's the last time the Mets won the World Series? 1986. I got it right here
Oh, then
in
why'd
front of
you
me.
ask me?
Because
I
I
hate
was.
when my kids do that. Do you know?
You do it all the time.
It's called context.
You do
It's
it all
called
the time to
context. I
me.
stopped you before you looked it up all the way. I'm saying that would you rather have an organization like the New York Mets, where you know you have the richest owner in baseball, and every year you are going all in on spending a bunch of money, and you're getting to NLCS appearances, and you're getting to the top guys.
Remember, Cohen has not owned them since '86. He just took over this team a couple years ago.
Okay, so
before that, they had a completely incompetent owner.
I'm saying one team raises the trophy at the end of the year.
Right.
Every year.
Yes.
Would you rather have your heart broken and then it's just like, well, we'll find new money next year
Yes.
and spend it?
Yes.
Or would you rather have it with this draft and develop that the Brewers have been doing right now?
Mets every day of the week. Every day of the week. That's
it's
easy.
the same thing.
I'm not even thinking about
you
that.
lose. There is no difference.
Yes, but understand something. He's trying. They're going for it every year.
The Brewers are trying. They're just investing in
No,
different places.
No. That's not the same thing. If Cohen owned this team, we would not be in the same boat as we are right now.
Do you think the Brewers would have a World Series win if Cohen owned this team?
Yes.
Well, he hasn't done it with the Mets.
Nope, not yet. But he's only had him for a couple of years. I'm just telling you that I do believe if you had an owner that had more money and was more willing to give a crap about trying to win a World Series, that this team would be in a better position to win a World Series.
Sure, but then
I'm pretty sure every fan listening would agree with
the
that.
money allocated would be going somewhere else. The Brewers spend so much down in,
You're right.
in scouting
It would
in
be
Venezuela.
You're right.
So then Jackson Churio and Jesus Mate and Luis Pena can be the future of the team. They wouldn't spend money on Juan Soto because they can't afford it to do both.
Cohen's doing both right now. He's spending money in the Dominican and everything else. Let's not act like the guy's only spending money at the major league level. That's the other thing. we had this, what was it, last week or whatever, percentage shared of revenue sharing spent on payroll. This report came out the other day. The Mets spend 90% of their revenue, which is much larger than the Brewers, on payroll. The Brewers spend only 41% of their revenue on payroll.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
Not surprising at all. Yeah, that's
a huge difference.
I can agree with you that is a lazy number. Do you know, what was
the
that
Cubs
near?
Are worse.
The Cubs
Ricketts'
were worse?
family is worse.
Yeah, that's a lazy number. I agree. And I think that's a shame. If you know there is a team that is spending that much money of their team share revenue on their salary, and that, I think, that would be a better answer for baseball getting a salary cap. No, it's you should have to spend X amount of percentage of your revenue on your salary.
Agreed.
I think that is a better solution as opposed to you know, this is the number you can't go over.
Charlie and I talked about that. It should be at least 50% or 55% or whatever has to go towards payroll. It does. And regardless, I don't care if you're the Pirates and Bob Nutting or whoever else it may be, you have to spend at least 50% of your payroll or your revenue on payroll. Now, of course, the Brewers' revenue is nowhere close to the Yankees or the Dodgers or whatever. Dodgers have an absolutely insane amount of money coming in.
I'm sure the taxes in New York got to be worse for Cohen than they would be in Milwaukee, too.
Yeah, I would agree. Right. And then in Orlando or down in Florida, you got like nothing going on tax-wise.
Right, yeah.
So, again, and the Marlins, where are they? Right? Where are they spending money? Same thing. Same type of deal. They should be spending money, too. I don't know how this is all going to play out, if they're going to get a salary cap or not, but there has to be more of a floor to this thing than there is right now, right? So if you go to the players and go, I'll tell you what, we're going to allow you to spend $250 million on payroll every year, right? That's over $100 million more than the Brewers. But we'll come back and we'll say every team has to spend at least $125 million every year. So the bottom payroll is $125, the top payroll is $250. Now, if you're Mark Antanasio, you're like, okay, I came up with an additional revenue source that should get us an extra $20 million. Now I can cut into that $250 because right now he might think he's gaining, right?
I mean,
I'm gaining. Here I go, and then the Dodgers and Mets raise their payroll by $50 or $60 million the next year, and you're like, I gained nothing. I'm just as far back as I was before.
Those beers are going to be so expensive if they were to do that. I mean, that's what's going to happen, right? They're going to price out the everyday fan if they do something like that, too.
Are we already at that point with a lot of things?
Maybe, but now when the cheapest ticket, at least you can find one for $12 in the nosebleed. It might be $40 after that if they do implement something, you know. And they'll never do that because that's going to make other owners mad across the league, and Rob Manfred's job is to make the owners happy. And
correct.
The only way they will do anything to mess with money is to cap the money, and that'll make the players upset.
The players providing the bottom, the middle to the bottom portion of players must be on board to wait forever, because if they're not, the top tier guys are going to get outvoted, and they're going to have a cap. I mean, Bryce Harper can scream and yell all he wants, and that's fine. And he can be right about it, too. But he's got more than enough money. He doesn't have to play again. Financially, he said he doesn't need to play baseball. He doesn't have to play another game. He's set. But these other guys on the Brewers, they can't afford never to play baseball again. A lot of these guys need to continue to play, to continue to build their nest egg. Otherwise, they're going to have to do something. May not have to be anything big, but they're going to have some type of income coming in going forward for a lot of these guys. Like Sal Frelick, he can't retire and be done. He's got to continue to play. Blake Perkins has to continue to play. Andrew Vaughn, I know, they're making millions. I get it. But still, they're not making that much money. They're not making Bryce Harper money. And that's where they want to get to at this point.
We got a text in from the Tommy Wirtz Talking Text fan line.
You have one yourself?
Drew Wagner, listening to this makes me want to scream.
Good. Do you know what? I was listening to that the Violets or whatever he listens to, the Vandaliers or whatever.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah, go on his Twitter account. He was in the Dells watching the Vandaliers.
Yes, that's what they were, yes.
I couldn't figure out what was going on. Is it like a gypsy country band? Is
You know what?
Is that what it is?
2 words to describe Drew Wagner.
What?
Yeah, that would be Gypsy Country Band.
Gypsy Country Band?
That makes like the most Drew
That's
Wagner.
kind of what it felt like.
Even I don't know the band, man.
Go listen to it. It's not bad. Like, you'll tap your foot to it.
I probably will like it.
Like, it's not horrible, but I couldn't put my finger on, like, what it is. Like, what is it? It feels country, but then it's got, like, I don't know. It's very weird.
Drew Wagner would be lead singer in this band for sure.
The Vandaliers?
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. Like, this is Drew Wagner's crew.
He's a big fan of them.
Oh, yeah. You went to the Dells for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I hear you. Tommy Words, Charlie Hughes, and C. Sparky Fifer. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for listening, Drew. Toodles!